Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. Only quick update because we don't really have any more clues as to where Natgas plans to go. Just running through here the different scenarios that we have on the chart. Please be aware that price is currently in a corrective move. Yeah, so it's ranging at the moment. We don't really have a strong indication where price will go to. Certainly, if we zoom out a little bit, this looks a little bit like a bearish pennant. From an Elliott wave point of view, I would also consider this as an Elliott wave triangle, a pretty large one which started already in February in a wave 4, and that's also already the first scenario. Obviously coming from a downtrend. I showed you in, I think it was the last video, I showed you the bigger picture. We talked about, okay, we peaked in a wave 1 here in June 22, and the move down is currently, so the move up was a wave 1, we topped, and the move down is currently a wave 2 in an ABC structure. And we have dropped, I mean, significantly, right? So from a percentage drop point of view, for a wave 2, it has done enough. I mean, it dropped 80%. It has done enough. It doesn't need to drop any lower. So looking at the daily chart, there are two scenarios. Yeah, another low is still preferred at this stage until we see a bottoming structure and a trend reversal. This could be such a bottoming structure, but it's not clear and not reliable at this stage. So ideally another low at the moment, yeah. And we talk about the different ways in which this additional low can play out, or the low is already in. But if the low is already in, it would have been in here on the, well, I think it's the 11th of April, 14th of April or something. So this swing low in April, yeah, would have been the wave 2 low. However, there is no impulse developing off that low. So it is extremely unreliable unless I want to make something up like a 1-2-1-2-1-2 setup or something, which is completely ridiculous because it's just not based on evidence. Okay, you can come up with anything, but of course, you know, the low could be in. It's just that at this stage I have no evidence to support that. If the low is in, then this would have been the wave 4 peak in March, and the wave 5, where did I have, yeah, here, and the wave 5 bottom then in April. It's basically a double bottom, but experience tells us they do rarely hold. A double bottom is typically a structure that doesn't hold. So it, you know, I prefer another low also because of trend continuation patterns here, and the move up looks just corrective. Okay, so from that point of view. However, how can another low occur? Just be aware that if we see movement to the upside and a break to the upside, especially a break above $3, this March high, even though another low is then not ruled out, it is nevertheless then a possibility that the low was already in. I just need to say it because sometimes we just look at the individual trees, right? And we forget about the forest. We forget about the bigger picture. But looking at the bigger picture, I mean, price has dropped 80%. That's absolutely sufficient for a wave 2 correction. We just now need to be patient and wait for those impulses to the upside. But imminently, until I see a clear bottoming structure, which is reliable and suggests that price will go up, I expect another low. We have to. And this is possible in a few ways. It is possible in a scenario in which we moved down in a wave 1, yellow count. We moved up in a wave 2, topped here around 269 yesterday. I think that was. Yeah, I think yesterday. And we are now moving down in a third wave, but I have no strong evidence that it is starting to move down yet. Yeah? I would have further evidence as soon as price takes out the previous swing low at $2.14. And the move down in yellow could be an ending diagonal. Yeah, I'm looking for maybe around about 130, 150 at the moment for this additional low. However, it is also entirely possible that it's following the white wave count, which is a triangle wave count. Yeah, the wave C is often in a triangle a more complex correction. So it could absolutely be a WXY structure here, which did unfold. And then the wave 4 would end where the triangle ends, which would be the top of the E wave. These are the two scenarios in which another low would come and happen, but I need to see some evidence. So first indication that we are breaking down also in the triangle is to take out the 214 level. Until it is taken out, theoretically this can go higher because we have a very short-term uptrend, even though it's very choppy and corrective. It can of course go higher, and 269 is the breakout point to the upside. What happens if we break above 269? Well, it's fairly simple. We first of all would look at the possibility of a higher wave 4. The problem is that if I count this as a wave 4, it would be very weak considering the entire decline. That's why a high wave 4 would then be on the table, definitely. The possibility in an A, B, C structure, okay? And the wave 4 could go a little higher. If we really see evidence for that, I will tell you how high wave 4 should go as a maximum before we consider it something more bullish. So these are the scenarios in which another low can occur. But unfortunately, price doesn't really give us strong evidence now in which, what are the relevant, which is the account that is definitely going to work out. So I'm not necessarily decided here between the different scenarios. We just need to wait for a breakout below 214 or a break to the upside above 269, which can take us to $3 and then possibly higher. Yeah. So, looking at the daily chart, you can see we are that ongoing sideways action brings the RSI on the daily a little higher. We're back in the bullish range. Looking at the weekly chart, we start to see here just sort of the RSI rise a little. It was oversold. We talked about it back then. It even formed the bullish divergence on the weekly chart. The MACD is up. Again, that we are close to a low, or the low might already be in, that is not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. We even are going to get a bullish crossover probably soon on the 2-week MACD and a bullish crossover on the 2-week RSI. So, we're not going to rule out that overall a low is in. We are in a situation where we've dropped that far after being bearish for a year or so that now is a time where at any point a reversal can occur. But until we see that turnaround, we have to expect another low. No, such a situation is always frustrating for a lot of viewers because it sounds like, right, it can go up or down. And in fact, that's always the case. But we obviously stopped the clear trend for now. The market is consolidating. The market hasn't made up its mind yet. Whereas it was fairly straightforward to be quite bearish throughout the entire year and the year before, right, 2022, due to the structure here and the top of wave 1, which was pretty clear. We're now in a situation where we are close to a low, or the low is already in. And if we have a third wave rally, then it will be pretty straightforward to, talk about the targets which go above $10, right? But we're just not there yet. We don't have that evidence yet. All right, that's my update about Natgas. It became a longer video than I actually wanted. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.